Graham Souness has lost the plot. Welcome back to Fog Football. It's the day after what happened. We're gonna play it cool. Not big Stevie Raging 1872. We're gonna keep it cool, calm and collected. And we're gonna look at Graham Souness's comments and just in general a lot more old firm fallout here, troops. So yeah, everybody join the live stream. This shall be interesting. We'll have more vids throughout the day. Just waiting on the green light to be able to upload them. And we'll dive into Graham Souness's comments very, very soon. But they're absolutely ridiculous. You know, I'm baffled. You know, I just. Oh, jeez. I'm sitting here defeated, everybody. 45 seconds into the start of a live stream. Right. Let's dive into Graham Souness's comments here, shall we? So he says, I'll read some stats and pretend you don't know the result. Celtic had 53% possession. Rangers had 47% possession. That's not bad for an away team. Celtic had 14 shots and Rangers 13. Well, what's that then? Boom. Celtic had 4 on target, Rangers 4 on target. Celtic had 5 off target, we had 5 off target. Does that sound like a one-sided game? There's no doubt there is a gap. And that gap for me, looking at it, is that Celtic have been better strikers. Those stats are not suggesting to me that Celtic mullered them at Parkhead. Yes, they've opened us up a gap. We finished second behind Celtic last season. They spent 28 million, we spent 14, so we're chasing them, but we're spending half the money. So there is a gap. Rangers aren't in a healthy financial situation. Celtic are far better off financially analysing the cherry pick players and take a chance on someone, whereas Rangers are buying under pressure where everyone has to come in and do a job. That's a difficult situation to be in. End of quote. Right. So you love fog football, right? So Graham Souness is trying to defend the stats here, right? Graham Souness to me sounds like a guy that didn't even watch the game yesterday. Just looks at the stats and goes, "Well, it looked like an even game." Stats don't. Stats is like 1/10 of the law. I know people, possessions 9/10 of the law, whatever, right? It's like the stats don't matter, man. Celtic could have scored about 8 yesterday. Could Rangers have scored a few goals yesterday? Absolutely. I don't think anyone would deny Rangers should have scored a few, especially Dessers, right? Matondo and McCausland. But it's like, no, Willie Pearson, Graham Souness, the gap is for all there to see, man. I almost exploded there, but I'll keep it cool. The gap is for all there to see. Souness is ridiculous, turning around and saying that that there's not a gap. He's talking about 3-4 Celtic souls back. 3-4. You say one striker's the difference, right? It's not. Look at the midfield. Completely. That's the midfield that every Rangers fan wanted to start yesterday. Our centre backs are a joke. Our right back is absolutely horrendous. I mean, I'd honestly rather start Adam Define the rest of this season. Our goalkeeper ain't the same goalkeeper he was 6 months ago, right? Our left back's actually a left mid. Our wide players, one got subbed off early because he bottled it, and the guy on the right, who's on loan by the way, just did not fancy it. He made Greg Taylor look like Roberto Carlos yesterday, and we're supposed to sit. Every player in that Rangers team, there's a video coming soon in the channel, but Boyd said it right yesterday. Not one Rangers player gets in that Celtic team. That's the reality. People can say what they want. That is the reality that we're looking at. Right? That not one gets in that team. And if anyone wants to make a compelling argument as to why they get in that Celtic team, comments are right there. And I'll get back straight into it. Talk about league titles. Talk about this. Forget about league titles. See, to win league titles, you need to win. You need to win Old Firms. And we can't even get close to winning an Old Firm. So see league titles. They're on the back burner. And see the state of this football club right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Rangers don't win a fucking league title this decade. Yeah, this decade is what I've said. It's 2024. You know, who's confident the Rangers? You don't know what the landscape of football is going to be like in 3, 4, 5 years, but based off the last 3, 4 years, I think it's safe to say what's going to happen. We should have been 2-0 up in the first 10 minutes. But would that team have collapsed under a bit of pressure if Celtic got one back? It would have. If we went 1-0 or 2-0 up and asked the question, Celtic have the mentality to step up to task, and they probably would have come back and got something at least, even if we went 2-0 up. I get it, we need a better player than Dessers. The guy's pish. All right, he had a good start to the season. Seen the big games, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, man. But you know what, Ross, you're kind of right, because they don't have to come back. When was the last time that we led a game in the Old Firm? We are talking years. Yeah, Ross, did they crack under pressure a bit last season with the losses to Kelly and Hearts? They did. But did they win the title and win a double? They did. So they bounced back from cracking. They cracked. We crack, and then we crack some more, and then we collapse. You can have wee cracks left, right, and centre. But see if you bounce back from the cracks, that's fair enough. Our arse collapsed yesterday. Arse collapsed. Disgusting. Rangers probably finished third. I don't know if we'll go that far, man. I don't think it'll be that bad. If it's that bad, Clermont will not last the season. Put it that way. You cannot last the season. We won't win anything under Clermont. Not against Rodgers. Yeah, Clermont's at his depth. Philip Clermont's at his depth, everybody. Turning around yesterday and saying, let's not forget, we got our biggest result in 4 years yesterday. And see, before anyone goes, but by goals scored, forget about that. I couldn't give a fuck about beating. I couldn't care about beating Ross County 6-0. To me, he's saying over a 4-year period. See, 4 years ago, this Rangers team, well, not this Rangers team, but Rangers were beating Celtic 2-0 at Parkhead. Connor Gould's embrace, Shane Duffy disaster class, old firms that went towards winning a league title. Those games matter more than Matondo turning up against Diddy Ross County. The job's too big for Clermont. He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand his audience coming out and saying something like that. Is that because he doesn't understand I think he doesn't understand the rivalry, because what Rangers fan is going to sit there and accept that we beat Ross County 6-0, so it's all right to get beat 3-0 in the Old Firm? That's pretty much what he said. Rangers' job way too big for Clermont. I agree. I think it is. No, you cannot come out and say something like that. You cannot come out and say something like that, man. It is honestly ridiculous to come out and the whole, we get 4 shots on target. All right, Phil, you keep going with that, big man. You keep going with that. And as Craig B says there, the starting 11 cost of both teams is similar. It is. Just Celtic have spent it more wisely. We can talk. Celtic have way more money than Rangers, but you're right. O'Reilly was signed for like 1.5 million, went for 26. We signed Cantwell, similar fee, lost it. The board and the whole stuff with Tav yesterday, getting confronted outside Ibrox, that was needed. That was absolutely needed. I guess we'll talk more and more about that. I can't really listen to comment anymore. Worse than Beale. I agree, right? So we're going to listen to Souness' comments. I've already read a lot of them. So let's go into the game. And I quote, Rangers didn't play well. They didn't have the people to finish it off. There's a gap. How many players would make that gap less? It's not a lot. 3 or 4 players, 15 million quid. Rangers don't have that right now. I'm accepting there is a gap. That's not an enormous gap. Trying to watch them objectively, I didn't see a one-sided affair. They were clinical. The third was a deflection. The goalkeeper couldn't get to it. The second was avoidable. Celtic deserved to win. Goals are the most important thing in changed games. I didn't watch the game thinking we were getting absolutely tanked. Maybe that's because of my blue nose. I didn't see wave after wave of attack and our keeper making lots and lots of saves. I accept that last year there was a gap, but not enormous. End of quote. Right. So hold on. He says I didn't see wave after wave of attack. Uh, well, what game did Graham Souness watch yesterday? I know it was a bad day yesterday for Souness. Well, actually, I said it was about Liverpool won 3-0, so I was going to say double whammy. It really wasn't, right? But if you compare both games, United get scudded, Rangers get scudded. Didn't actually watch the Liverpool United game, right? I've just seen Mark Goldbridge have a wee meltdown, like myself. But to suggest that there wasn't wave after attack, see, after the 12th minute, we were on our arse. No, we were on our absolute arse after the 12th minute. Could we have scored goals more in the second half with McCausland and co? Yeah. Hatate missed a great opportunity. Kyogo missed a bunch of opportunities, and Maida had a bunch of free headers. There was a lot of things that hit the post as well for Celtic. There was so many chances in that game for Celtic to win. You know, and range. See if you actually factor in how many goals realistically should have been scored in that game. I think you're looking at about 11-3-4. You know, Matondo should have scored it. It was offside, though, so that's why we'll count that as free. Dessers should have scored. That was onside, by the way. And in the second half, McCausland should have scored twice. Don't understand what he was at. Not good enough. He's not even good enough for Albion Rovers, and he's getting a game for Rangers, man. Come on. Let's see. Here we go again. Yeah, Lawrence. It feels like it. The bottle crashed after a disallowed goal. That's how fucking weak this team is in the skull. I don't understand Souness, man. He's talking. Let's see. Simon Jordan responded to me. Basically read it. I can't even be arsed reading them. If you can't lay a glove on Celtic domestically and never beaten them, then you have to say the gap is significant. The argument then is, what do you try and do and achieve things? You try and get to the Champions League, then you draw Kiev and get knocked out. So any opportunity to bridge the gap economically is taken away by performances on the field, and that has to come down to the group of players and the manager. End of quote. Yeah, I mean, it's poor, that, but I mean, that's all on Clement, man. Yo, everybody's right. See the Matondo one, that was offside. I think I've only seen the Dessers chance the once, but it looks like Scales' back legs playing Dessers on. It doesn't really matter, though. It didn't, he didn't score it, and if it was offside, boom. Yeah, no, Dessers was on it. That's the first thing he said, correct. Scales' trailing leg played him on. Kind of like Rangers implying the European gap between us is a significant cause. You never do anything in Europe. There isn't a significant gap. Celtic are a lot worse than Underhand. It's a fact. Yeah, but Rangers are just getting worse every season. It's pre Gerrard. Pre Gerrard. Rangers are sitting fourth in the league 4 games in. What are we doing? As Alan Morrison says, it is a very thin line between optimism and delusion. Everybody. Michael Beale coaching. The guy's who's a fraud, by the way. From the words of AFT legend Clement, or not Clement, Claude even. It's time to go. R.I.P. Claude from Arsenal Fan TV. Liquidation, Celtic Soul says. Brian, haven't heard that one before. But McCausland should have scored 2 chances in the second half. One of them he hit it, and I think it went out for a throw in. And if he left it, it could have just went to what do you call him? The big man, Tierney. Who I thought I'd cancel his loan. See if I was in charge, I'd sack Clement, I'd cancel Tierney's loan, and see the free agents that are out there. I'd try and bring them on. Don't get it. Cyril Drosser's the donkey. Again, Dessers talks a good game before these matches. Oh, I'll die on the pitch. Die on the pitch. I mean, he does everything right, Dessers, for that first chance. Cuts in, finesses, trickles into the back of the net, man. He needs to look at free agents though, Cameron, because there's no who else we're going to. I'm at. I was ready to explode there. I was about to, because I was about to talk about Tavernier being linked with a bid. I don't even want to talk about James Tavernier. That's how bad it is. You know what I mean? It's pathetic. That fan confronts him, right? And that was justified. I don't care what anyone says. Fan called him out on it, right? And there should have been more calling him out on it. And what does Tav do? Tav's got every right to stand up for himself and confront the fan back, but he's shown more fight against a Rangers fan outside Ibrox than he's ever done in an Old Firm for about the past fucking 4 years. And I know he scored some decent goals against Celtic, right? He scored some good free kicks, but they all resulted in losses at the end of the day. Was that me with the puffer jacket shouting at Tav? It wasn't, but you know what? It's going to get ugly. There's going to be a lot more of that. You know, Rangers, I don't know when they're going to announce the Europa League package, but see when that gets announced, who's going to buy that? You can't take away, right, what Souness done for Rangers, right? But just because you've done something in the past doesn't mean you can't have delusional takes at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Do you agree that Clement should have been cornered after the game getting foul abuse? Well, the clip that I seen of Clement, you know, I don't think calling him a loser and saying it's not good enough is foul abuse. Now there's another one surfacing. I'll need to watch it, but I mean, he's the manager. He's overseen 5 games against Celtic and he's no one. You know, he needs to get confronted. You were on fire yesterday. Hilarious. Didn't intend to be funny, by the way. Did not intend to be funny, but Fog Football appreciates that. But you know, we made a video last week, right, about the Celtic fan calling out Peter Law, and I think confronting people is fine. I do think it is. Our logic was with Peter Law as well. It's like, look what they've done at Celtic, the board. I thought, no, come on, everybody needs called out from Rangers. No one's advocating for violence, right, or barricades, but see, confronting them to his face, they need that. We've seen it last year when they were talking to Butland. It wasn't exactly extreme. Not that the Tavernier stuff yesterday was extreme, by the way. It was very safe, so to speak, but it needs called out. James Tavernier should never play for Rangers again. Never. He will, though. James Tavernier will. I say he will. He'll be starting. See that Dundee United game, folks? James Tavernier will be starting. Yeah. People can. Is it the players? Is it the board? Is it Clement? It's all Free's fault. That Rangers team, yeah, is it shite? You bet your bottom dollar it's shite. But you know what? He's the manager. He's got to get them up for an Old Firm. But what I would say to that, the manager shouldn't need to get them up for an Old Firm. See James Tavernier, see if he was a true fucking Rangers captain, he should be in that dressing room and he should say, you know what, it's been fucking embarrassing the past couple of years. And I see if any of you cunts don't fucking knock your pan in the day, I'll batter you when we get back in at half time. That's what a real see Barry Ferguson, that's something he would have said. You seen how fuming he was? You seen it? But I think it was like the 80th minute they showed him. But see James Tavernier, he'll be like, he'll say before the game, make sure to pass to me so I can get a wee assist today, guys. It doesn't matter if we're 3-0 down or 4-0 down, just pass to me. James Tavernier is a fraud of the highest order, man. The guy's pish. It's football, no boxing. Well, you know what? If it went 12 rounds, Rangers got a TKO yesterday. It's no good enough. Yeah, at least Ali McCoist and Boyd told the truth. And people saying before the game, Ali McCoist isn't a Rangers man because he says that Celtic are better than Rangers before the match. Imagine coming out and saying that. It's ridiculous. James Tavernier's a fud. He's a fud. Now, as soon as is in denial, we've already read all as soon as it's going to come out and say it. Just Absolutely. No, but see Dyson Maeda rent free in James Tavernier's head. He just worries about him. It's pathetic, man. James Tavernier. No, I think Clement's got to go. But yeah. Not the problem is, say there was no £5 million attached to it, everybody would want Clement out after that. That's the reality. Everyone would want him out. You can't keep sacking managers. You can. He's shite. Doesn't have a fucking Scooby snack. What's going on at this? He doesn't. I think Boyd kind of got it wrong yesterday when he turned around and said, Clement is more in charge of Rangers than what Rodgers is. I mean, maybe he is, but I think the fact that, I don't. What's Clement in charge of? I wouldn't trust him to run a bath, let alone send 11 players out to get a victory at Parkhead. Honestly, just don't get it. Souness thinks you are only 4 or 5 players away from Celtic. Souness didn't say 4 or 5, 15 million players away, and that ain't happening. Well, it ain't happening, but, as Boyd said, not a Rangers player gets into that Celtic team right now. And when you've got that problem, you have an issue. League titles. You need to win these games before you can start talking about league titles again. That's what Gerrard did. Gerrard took 3 years to win a league title, right? Yeah, and see the first two. Could Rangers have did it? There was a bit of bottling going on. There was absolutely. I don't think anyone can deny that. But Gerrard's record in the Old Firms was 8 wins, 1 draw, and 4 losses, right? See, compare it to the last 16 games, which is 2 wins. You have to build up, and Gerrard did that. But I mean, would I take Gerrard back? There's no guarantee it would work. You know what I mean? The amount of money he's getting in Saudi, why would he come back? He wouldn't. Would he get backed? Probably not. He wouldn't get back Gerrard. If Gerrard had stayed, we'd be on 5 in a row now. Well, I would say, I don't think we'd be on 5 in a row. I don't think we would. Would we have won Ange's first year? With way more of a chance than under Gio, put it that way. There is a huge. I know. See these people talking about it isn't a huge gap, but there's a people in this chat, right, that's honestly going to predict Rangers to win the game at Ibrox, and then they're like, what was it? Was it Ian Brissell? I can't even remember who said. Someone said, not Ian Brissell, Alan Brissell, not fucking Ian. Someone said, but if they had the 7,000 Rangers fans at Parkhead, they might have turned up. Oh, aye, they might have turned up. Do we remember some of the games at Ibrox last year? Why they 1-0? They turned up in that, didn't they? What about the 2-0 game? Well, I say 2-0. It was 2-0 at half time. Matt O'Reilly, penalty, and Maeda goal. Nah. Just pathetic. Gerrard was about to get sacked before Celtic got the league. God bless COVID-19. He was about to get sacked. That Hamilton game, we get beat 1-0. You know what I mean? But the reality is, that happened. Things were awarded via Zoom, and Steven Gerrard was kept in his job. Yeah, we can talk about Rangers were close to sacking Gerrard. They were, right? I'm not going to deny that, but they didn't, and Rangers stopped the 10. And you know what? They might need to bring Gerrard back to stop this 10, because that's the way it's looking. You know what I mean? I was never Gerrard out, but I remember in that Hamilton game, I asked the question. I was like, do we want him out? And I broke it down. That was like, over 4.5 years ago. So, is it? Yeah, 1 trophy out of 9 is a failure for Gerrard. It is. You can't deny that. And as you say, Celtic stopped the 10, right? I don't think it's fair to say that. I mean, definitely both factors at play. But, the club was better under Gerrard. 1 out of 9 trophies, though, was horrendous. It is. But it doesn't mean Clement's got 1 trophy under his name. I mean, the best it gets for Rangers this season is going for 2 cups. And even right now, 2 cups. Well, I mean, what Rangers are relying on is other teams doing the business against Celtic. That's what it is, because we're not beating Celtic at Hampden. We're not beating them in a semi. We're not beating them in a final. Graham Murray available. I don't even want to think about it, man. Graham Murray, Graham Murray. Where are the people? How the mighty estate has fallen, brother. Going to be going through 2 managers every season. You know what? That might be the way. Get a new manager, bounce. Why didn't we get the treble under Gerrard? Well, if you remember, Sander Clark, it was an assist for Sander Clark, wasn't it? St Johnstone put us out in the cup. I think it was St Mirren. We scored late on with Davis, and then St Mirren scored pretty much straight away, didn't they? So that's how that one went. Should have won the treble that year. No excuse. There was no excuse to. But no one, see at the time, no one really cared with Gerrard, right? Not winning the treble that year because it was all about the 10. But see, looking back in retrospect, that was the easiest treble Rangers could have won. St Johnstone did the double that season, man. And you know what? I remember people saying, "Oh, you can't give Callum Davidson manager of the year because Gerrard stopped 10." Let's not kid ourselves. See St Johnstone doing a double. That's a bigger achievement than Rangers winning the league. I remember saying that at the time. People were baffled. It is. St Johnstone doing the double is unthinkable. You know what I mean? Think about our Rangers fans that were probably even born the last time Rangers done a double or a treble. I know they'd be young, right? But you understand my point. We're talking over a decade, man. It's too long. Embarrassing. I'm trying to see a way out by thinking logically and unbiased as I can. I can't see a way out, even if you had a billionaire. True. Well, Lawrence, that is the greatness of living in Belfast, my friend. Once back in our spiritual home, and it's rocking with 50,000 at the final staunchest Blue Noses, we'll be back where we belong on top. That's Willie Pearson. I mean, I like the thinking, but I don't know. I'm done. Defeat it. Classic Celtic fans. Second, they have a bad season. They went around their own board to have won more trophies than any other board ever. But see, they strive for greatness. They want to win every trophy on the table. Does this Rangers board want to win every trophy on the table, man? We've got none. Ridiculous. Stevie makes a huge difference. Ibrox was a fortress in Europe, but that's it though. I mean, Ibrox does, but I'm talking about the old firm games there. Recently, soul destroying, man. Willie is deluded. Willie's getting a lot of. Don't geese it, big man. You've no accent, you cabbage. ALMH1999. What are you on about, big man? Don't geese it, big man. Be under no illusions about it. If we win the league this season, they want rid of Peter Law. Big if there, mate. Well, no, of course they would. They want rid of Peter Law right now, and they're on set to do a treble or something. So Brendan's horny quadruple chasing Celts are Guinea pile misery in Rangers this season. Brilliant. We are winning nothing, says Char, and that is it's the mentality we shouldn't have, but it's the mentality the players have got into it. The players are right. I'm going to look at some transfer news. There is no transfer news. Ibrox will make no difference for that crap team. Seriously, that's could go that way. Rangers are mensch. Got a 25 quid double on Celtic unbeaten in Scottish Cup 62-1. So unbeaten in the league. Here, tell you what, man. You can rule it unbeaten 20-1. You can rule out the Rangers games for that. PC is like Gio, in my opinion. They both need wingers for their style. I don't know. You're on your own now. Free agents, everybody. Bring the free agents in. That's what we can hope for at Rangers Football Club. Can we not? Clement won the first 10 minutes trophy alongside the Morale Victory trophy. Thank goodness I'm in the USA. The USA, the Igamani. See the amount of people that actually tuned out of the game after the first goal and the second goal because they just knew it was coming. Knew it was coming. It was predictable. Sad as it is. Can I see it? 12 goals scored. Sierra conceded. Played Rangers and Hearts away. I think I'd go into hiding over there. Oh, only went unbeaten all season, didn't earn it. You know what it's like when you're saying all your trophies aren't earned. We gave them to you. Clement is clueless. No better than Beals. No better than Beal. No better than I'd have fucking Beal. Beal's got a better record against Celtic, so there's one thing he's got over Big Phil right now. Hey there, you with the sad face. Brilliant. That's what we want to see. Tom English said Rangers warmed up magnificently yesterday, so they did win the cup, warm-up cup too. I seen an image or video. Celtic fan recorded it. It was Alex Ray hitting long balls, right? Route 1 football in the centre backs, and Dessers were heading it. It just looked pish, is what it looked. Gio took us to Euro final and got sacked. Problem is sacking managers too early. Yeah, but what do we give Clement to, right? No, let's say, right, we give Clement to, let's say we give him to the new year, right? And Rangers are 10 points behind, which I think is being very, very, a lot of faith me putting in saying just 10 points. And say we get to the 2nd of January, when I believe the old firm is, right? We get to that game and we lose at Ibrox, or even draw, because a draw's not good enough anymore. We need to win. You're at home. What happens if we get beat? He's got to walk. He will not see the new year, man. People need to. If he sees the new year, we're probably going to be in the bottom 6 of the fucking table. A young Kevin Bridges. That's good. I'm not as funny as Kevin Bridges. Kevin Bridges is quite good. Now, and obviously when I say bottom 6, it is an exaggeration, but we know how toxic this can get. And we know how bad it gets at the end of Beale and Gio's reigns. And the problem is, if you're not going to sack Clement, then that continued failure. You know, look at Beale. Got beat 3-0, 3-1 against Aberdeen, I think it was. And Gio at the end, there was draws and losing games, right? But if Clement's not going to get sacked because they want to back him, that will continue for months. If we're not going to sack him, it's not going to be a couple of results. It's going to be a couple of months of that. And that's the problem. Tell some jokes. See, I don't know. I'm not good at telling jokes. I'm just good at not having a script, and whatever I say is funny. If it's not, it's not. You know, somebody said yesterday I could do stand up if this gig fails. Well, I don't think I could do stand up. Sack PC, then what? Bring in who? They won't get a better tune at draws players. I agree with that. I mean, I do agree with that because I don't know what manager would get, but it's just the manager bounce. You know, it's the Rangers circle at the minute. Sack new manager. Oh, he's back. Oh, when we get new signings and he gets his own players, we'll challenge Celtic. Brilliant. Oh, do you use no script your intros? No, I've never had a script for a video. I mean, obviously, you know, obviously if something happens in a game, right, you can base your intro off that. But I've never written anything down. Everything we do in Fog Football is not scripted. Everything I say is not scripted, right? I come into these streams, read the chat, and speak from the heart. Nothing we do scripted. You know, and that's not me trying to be big-headed. I just don't. I think when you read off a script, it sounds robotic. I just feel like speaking naturally, and that's what I'm going to do. You and Baz could do a double act. Keep it up. Great banter. Complacency is Celtic's biggest challenge. It is. And some people would argue that's what happened with the 9 in a row. They got complacent, didn't strengthen enough, and Rangers caught them slacking. But the reality is, what are Rangers going to wait? 4 years, 5 years? It was done. Done. Anyway, right, we went for 45 minutes. I can't even be arsed going much more, man. That's the thing. I wish I could just hibernate for 2 weeks, but I'm going to have to talk about it. I'm not going to bottle it. But yeah, never the slabbering cabbage, not in a million years. Clement isn't new. Yeah, that's another thing. He's not new in the job. He's been in the job 10 and a half months. See, when we return from the international break, Clement will be in this job 11 months. And we went backwards. I mean, you get people on here saying he's got no style of play. He's not improved any player. He's not won an Old Firm. He clawed a league title back, the lead of it, and then he bottled it. How are people honestly Clement in? And that's what it boils down to. It's the 5 million. See if he took the 5. See if it cost Rangers nothing to replace Philip Clement right now. Everybody would want him out. It's the 5 million, and it's sad. I said on the 2nd of August, exactly a month ago, actually, I said we have literally just agreed to sack him for more money. Fast forward a month later, Big Stevie was right. I wish I was wrong, right? I can't remember that. See, every season I've done YouTube, I predicted Rangers to win the league. Drinking some of that Deludamo, right? I got it right once. This year was the year I didn't do it, and I fucking pray that I'm wrong. But you look at it, the only way I might get it wrong is if Aberdeen win the league, because it won't be that Rangers team that win the league. That's the guarantee there. Clement's record is worse than Beale's. It is. Clementine means seedless orange. Google it. No. And he is a seedless jabroni, isn't he? Kind of is funny, actually. Seedless orange. But people say don't sack him. Say we get to Christmas. There's a real possibility, right, that Aberdeen could still be 5 points clear by the time we take them on at Pittodrie. Say we go 8 points behind Aberdeen. That's Aberdeen we're talking about, man. We're not even talking about the average age cup. Oh, they won because the average age is 27 and ours is 26. Well, you know what? Come on. You're in charge of signing players, mate. Why not sign a couple of old people? You know what I mean? If it works on average age, why not sign a couple of, why not sign that? I've seen there's like some goalkeeper. I think he plays in the Japanese league. He's 57 and he says he wants to play to he's 60. Why not bring him in, offer him a 5-year deal and get that average age up then, if it matters that much? Fucking no. Coming out and saying, oh, it's not so black. It's not so black and white. We beat Ross County last week 6-0. Best result in 6 years. See that, man? That's not a Rangers manager. That's a circus, is what that is. On it, I mean that is the fucking. Imagine turning and saying that, man. Imagine, you know what? I'm actually, I can pass a ball, right? But you know what you could guarantee if I was in that starting 11? I'd run around for 90 minutes. I'd actually fucking try. I'd try, and everybody that supports Rangers would try more than those players did on Sunday. You've got people saying, I'm not accusing Tavernier of not trying. Did anyone watch him defend? Did anyone watch him? You know what I don't get, right? See, people are like, oh, well, Clement picks the team. Tavernier's the captain, right? Why doesn't he turn around and say to Clement, right? See, Dyson Midas rode me like a donkey, sir. So how about we take the saddle off and I play in a different position, or you just leave me on the bench because we're going to get scudded if I play? That would be honesty for Tav, but you know what? He doesn't. He's like, I'll play, sure. I'll collect my wee bonuses for playing in the Old Firm and all that shit. Absolute prick. Stevie G team was much fitter. How has the squad got so unfit? Yep. Hope you guys aren't walking away. Tav deserved to get shouted at. He does. But there's no leaders in that team, man. Who's going to be shouting at who? See when they walked in to the dressing room at half time and full time, what was said? Probably nothing. See, based off Clement's post-match comments, he probably went, "It's all right, I know we're 2-0 down, right? But we've had 3 shots on target in the first half. They've had 4. Let's just get one more, and we'll match them, and I'll say that after the game." Is that what Clement turned around and said at half-time? Did he say, "I know we're 2-0 down, but we beat Ross County 6-0, so it's all right. Just go out there and have a wee bit of fun. See if Dyson Maida runs past you. Don't bother, Tav. It's all right. You haven't bothered in the last 4 years, so why bother now?" Has anyone done a social check on Adam? Big Adam. Big Adam. He said I was being ridiculous, and it turned out everything was true. Don't understand it. Don't understand it. Michael Beale coached that fitter squad, right? He's a fraud. Is he a fraud, Michael Beale? Yeah, he is. I mean, Gio made them unfit. Beale came back in, tried to make them fit, and that's when the injuries started happening. So you can kind of, yeah, come on, feeds the team pies. That fan was bang on telling him he's a loser. It's true. Absolutely. What the thing is, though? I mean, there's a lot of Celtic fans in this chat. We are impartial here on Fog Football, right? But see if Cal McGregor had done at Celtic what Tav's done at Rangers over the past decade, Celtic fans were doing the exact same thing. And no, I wouldn't have got to this stage, actually. It wouldn't have got to this stage. Champions League run. Why do you think Gio got sacked? Because I wanted him to get sacked. In hindsight, would we have been better than keeping Gio than what's happened since? Yeah, absolutely. Because not Tav. I'm not going to blame Tav, right? But just don't know. Yeah, Cal McGregor. It's almost like he stole Tavernier's thunder this season. Not only does he own him in terms of trophies, but he's taken all these goals numbers and all. Yeah, the difference is McGregor would have been hounded out. He would have been sold. He'd have been let go. Tavernier's not been good enough for Rangers for the past 3 seasons. It's like, I think Cal McGregor said post-match, he said to McCowan when he came on, like, stick to me, stick close, I'll lead you through this game. Something like that. That's a fucking captain, you know what I mean? That's a captain. That's what I know they were 2-0 up when Hank McCowan came on, but that's what you say. You know what I mean? I'll lead you, I'll help you bed into Celtic. What's James Tavernier doing? Hamza Egamani, I mean, it's not Tav's fault that Hamza Egamani get brought on for his first game 3-0 down, but what's Clement doing with that, man? You know, what's Clement doing bringing that kid on at that? He's our second most expensive transfer this summer, man, and the guy's an Olympic ring bearer. What's going on? Don't understand it. Hugo's first goal was onside by an inch. You can't really get level these days anymore. So if they want, I don't know. I don't even care about that, man. You know, see if these games weren't a foregone conclusion anymore, and there was actually a title fight on. We'd have made a poll about that and talked about it, but it didn't matter if Kyogo's first goal stood or not because it had the same impact. It made Rangers collapse. So is PC Pedro Mark 2? Fucking looking that way. He doesn't have a clue. He doesn't, man. I don't say what you want about Beale, right? But I don't think he'd have come out and said our best result was last week against Ross County after losing an Old Firm. There's no way. There's no way he'd have turned around and said that. You know, in Ange's first season, I think they beat Dundee 6-0 in the second game of the season at Parkhead. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then obviously they lost at Ibrox 1-0. Did Ange turn around and say after the game, well, I know we lost, the derby, but it's all right. We beat Dundee 6-0. Did he turn around and say that? Don't think he did. Come on, he's out his depth, man. He's sinking with the armbands on. It's over. Michael Beale, Gio, then PC. Nah, I'd put it Gio, Beale, then PC. I don't think Clement's got a clue, man. And we're stuck with the worst one at the three. All it was missing yesterday was a few bushes outside Ibrox. Yep. Oh my goodness, the social check has worked. Adam is back. Stevie, I take back everything I said on Friday. You were spot on. No hard feelings, Adam. Called or fail. Square goal's been called off then. But I didn't want to be right. But I mean, I knew it. I predicted 2 each, right? And I knew deep down it was all over. I knew we were going to get beat. But I went, no, you know what? I've got a lot of subscribers. I need to give them. They need to know that I've got a little bit of faith. I need to do something, and yeah, it didn't work, did it? So I'm not going to apologise for it. See, all the jungle gyms are on here rather than going to actual work on a Monday. A lot of people. $40 million for Ivan Toney, $10 million for Tav. Yo, Ivan Toney would walk into like United, Arsenal, teams like that. James Tavernier couldn't even walk into a retirement home at the minute. His legs are done. 10 million. If they want to pay 10 million, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, Mbappe scored last night. Brilliant. Says Willie not working. I was going to say that, but I was like, you know what? I'll let the Celtic fans say that to him. We're all not working. People could be on their work break, actually. Who's at work? That explains a lot. Their tugboat's faster than Tav, to be fair. I don't know. He's done. James Tavernier's done, man. Done. Done. Everything's done. Done. That's the new word. Done. All over. No, we wouldn't get $1 million for Tav. Yo, Tav's I mean, I was going to say Tav's legacy, right? See if he left at the end of the Europa League run, it would have been nowhere near good enough in terms of a trophy count. Two trophies, but he was part of stopping the 10, and he had that Europa League run. Cheery bye. See, since then, he's butchered any sort of fondness any Rangers fan could have for him. I can't stand the guy, and that's the captain. You know, it's just 2 days off to watch this shite. Take a deep breath and calm down. Souness said so. I'm not calming down. But anyway, guys, I think that's it. I mean, there's not much. I mean, there'll be more to talk about later, right? But I'm simply just here to talk about Graham Souness talks here. So I think Voldemort will chuck it. No, why would he chuck it? He'll need to get paid off first, then he needs to go. He's done. Clement is done. Tav's done. Every player at this club is done. Even the new ones that have come in. Robin Proper. We speak about him. Guy looks absolute pish. I mean, every time the camera pans to the box, he's planked out on the floor like a penguin, like an emperor penguin on a bit of ice, trying to escape a polar bear. Like, what's he doing? Just yo, see Tav's stats non-existent anymore. Non-existent. He's done. Any scouting team worth a damn wouldn't pay a penny for James Tavernier right now. What do I really think of Tav? I want him out. I mean, if you want to see what I really think of him, check out the player ratings. They were up earlier. A match review. I'm done with James Tav. I don't even want to speak to him. But not the thing. Loads of people said this. It's like, oh, I don't want to see James Tavernier lining up for the start of this new season. And what did he do? He did, and exactly as he's in it for the wages, and that's it. He's in it for the wages, James Tavernier. He is. Doesn't care about the club. He knows he's done. And he didn't even do the post-match interview. I'll give him that. He didn't do the post-match interview. Oh, we're disappointed. Yeah, sadly for the fans, we got to bounce back, and I'll score a free kick next week. Yeah, fuck off. Ross Wilson, good business. Ross Wilson. There's a problem. We keep players well past their time and then send them off free. That is it. Right, everybody. I think we're going to end it here. 200 has been very consistent viewers, so I appreciate that. Appreciate the super chat earlier. I didn't really need that final dig there, son, for Frankfurt. I really didn't need that, but yeah. I'm disappointed. I can't laugh up in your faces. I'm on 38 grand a week. I was wondering what the tattoo was. Was it a Family Guy tattoo? Brilliant. Our level, selling Scott Wright to Birmingham for peanuts, lol. That sounds about right. I am scunnered. I woke up this morning and my first thought was that happened yesterday, didn't it? But yeah, if you're a Rangers fan, you don't feel scunnered right now. I don't know what to say. Oh, I didn't have it. Family Guy. I noticed a tattoo, but I didn't know if it was Stewie or Peter Griffin, man. Yeah, we're used to it. You're a brave man wearing that top today. Yeah, I'm feeling that. But part of me hates this international break, but part of me loves it because you know what? We don't need to worry about a game at the weekend. Well, just two diddy friendlies, like if you care about international football, which we will cover. That top's no seen sunlight in years. Simon Jordan sounded like a Celtic fan today. I didn't listen to it, I just read the transcript, but I just feel like Souness was talking that much pish. Jordan must have had to sound like a Celtic fan. It's just, I don't know, I thought it was ridiculous, to say the least. Big Barry, message retracted. That's another thing. I think we need players that actually get the rivalry. You see it in Luke McCowan's face, right? He understands what it means, and I think Connor Barron, right? Does he understand what it means? Let's hope so. Didn't really play like it, bear that in mind. But we need to. Polar bears are from North Pole, penguins are from South Pole, Celtic and Rangers are poles apart. Thanks for that, David Attenborough. 20 grand a week, by the way. Yep. Come on. Coming out after the game and saying it's the real Rangers will be seeding October. It's generally a shambles that side of the city. Yep. Loads of footage of yesterday's carnage at Ibrox. Yep. Does it really matter if Celtic sold O for 10 pence or 4 million? I couldn't care what they sold O for, by the way. I mean, it doesn't fucking bother me. See if Celtic want to lie about their profits, right, or whatever, and inflate what they actually sell players for. I don't care. What matters to me is league titles and trophies and victories and things like that. And we don't know how to. I mean, Clement's won 9 at the last 22, by the way. 9 wins, 7 draws, 6 defeats. And people want to keep this guy. 9 wins, 7 draws, 6 defeats. 9 wins, 7 draws, 6 defeats. That's unacceptable, man. Big CJ Novo was hilarious. I watched CJ Novo's vid, but it's like he's a hypocrite. He turns around and says, right, we all knew this. We all knew this. And it's like, well, hold on, mate. You didn't know it because you predicted your team to win the league. Hi. Don't understand it. I mean, I seen it coming a mile off. Most people did. Nah, but to be fair, I backed us to draw 2 each. Backed this, man. Why the fuck did I do that? Why did I back that team to draw 2 each? I must have been having some of that delusional that's floating about. Ross eats delusional. Thinks he's a comedian. The squeaky chair. We can all do that. Bit of that great banter. Right. That's where we're going to end it, guys. I'll be back later in some capacity, but It's all over. It's all over. There's no excuses, man. What happened yesterday in the past couple of years, there's no excuse for it. You know what I mean? I think CJ Noble speaks a lot of sense. I think when it comes to certain things, like why don't we have the players ready? Totally agree. Not every. It's not even a case of a broken clock is right twice a day. I think with CJ Novo is he doesn't want to upset his core audience, which is Rangers fans, and then he even said at the end of his vid I apologise for being so negative. We lost 3-0 in an Old Firm. There's nothing to fucking say sorry for. I went ballistic yesterday. Why would I apologise for fucking anything? Know who should be apologising? The board, Clement, and the players. But what instead are they fucking doing? Clement's coming out and talking about 4 shots on target. No sorry to the fans. He's whipping out 4 shots on target. He's talking about we beat Ross County 6-0. See the celebration they did against St Johnstone? I'm surprised they didn't go over to Barry Ferguson and the crowd, man, start jumping around off 4 shots on target. There's no apologies needed. Fuck it, I'm disgusted. Anyway, when am I next live? Don't know. I don't know. I'm done. There's no apologies needed. You can't rant and rave for half an hour and be like, I'm sorry for being too negative. It's not negative. It's not. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. Why apologise for being... The only people that should apologise, the Rangers fans have no need to apologise. What will we apologise for? It's the board. It's the manager and the players. And I don't believe in that. Well, the manager's got to take the brunt. Clement's got to take a lot, right? I get that. But the players are the ones out in the pitch, and it wasn't a tactical change that made them collapse in the 12th minute. It was their own arses that made them collapse. So, fuck the board. And come on, the players. Yeah, I'm done. Anyway, done. Done and dusted. Done and dusted.